Joe here. I'm in Oaxaca, Mexico, right in front of the Santo Domingo Cathedral. And I wanted to make this video to share with you some of the more unusual foods that I've eaten in Mexico. Prior to coming down, I'd already tried some pretty unusual stuff like jellyfish, baby eels, tripe, menudo, all kinds of unusual stuff, octopus. I'm typically a pretty adventurous eater, but once I came to Oaxaca, even for me, there were some things that were pretty challenging. So with that being said, I'm going to take you guys through some of the more sort of challenging things that I tried when I was in Oaxaca, and hope you guys enjoy. Walking through this bizarre Mercado 20 de Noviembre, and just got my huitlacoche. I've been looking everywhere for this. A couple other interesting things here, just walking around seeing the sights. Walking through the meat section of the Mercado 20 de Noviembre, something caught my eye that was truly bizarre. So yesterday I got some interesting ingredients for an interesting dish of blood sausage, sangrita. So Lily is cooking this up. This is the blood sausage, which they call sangrita, and it's a sausage made of blood and pig. Lily's not crazy about this. Okay, so that's the blood sausage. Got an interesting smell. The huitlacoche, which is the corn fungus. There's a spore of like a mushroom that infects each individual corn kernel, and then kind of like the mushroom grows and expands the corn kernel. So what you have is basically a product that's kind of halfway between a mushroom and corn. Anyway, that's the plate. And Lily's really scared of this. ¿Tú tienes miedo? Sí. Okay, so Lily just made this. This is the huitlacoche blood sausage, sangrita, limon, which I think I'm gonna need because the smell is pretty strong. Yeah, onions, serrano peppers, chiles and stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna give it a try. You know, people have been eating this for thousands of years, and without no problem. Definitely a little bit of lemon. It's a little scary. But let's give it a try. A little bit of fresh salsa. Once you kind of get over in your mind what you're eating and the smell of what you're eating and thinking about what you're eating, then it's actually pretty good. So I'm gonna keep giving this a try. It's not my favorite thing right now, but I'm gonna keep giving it a try. It has a very strong smell of livestock. You can smell the animals, los animales, and that's the only problem that I'm having with this. Come on, Lily. Una mordida, baby. Una mordida. Okay. Come on, baby. No. Chapulines, grasshoppers. These are muy famoso in esta ciudad.
Okay, let's try.
So Lily's gonna eat a chapulines. ¿Qué crees?
Salty.
Salty? Yeah. Although my first impression of these chapulines was not a pleasant one, I was later to have some experiences that would change my opinion. Okay.
Okay.
So estamos en un restaurante, se llama La Costumbre. Esta hamburguesa, okay, oh my God, muy delicioso. Y esas chapulines son diferentes, son más pequeñas. These chapulines were head and shoulders better than the ones we had in the market. Nosotros probamos era mucho más grande. And the burger itself was one of the best I've ever had in Mexico or anywhere else. Más duro. Ella ahora está comiendo mis chapulines. Yo no tengo nada. Caldo de pancita. Pancita is your belly. That's pancita. Exquisitos caldos de menudo. This whole row going this way is all menudo. Caldo de pancita. So I'm sitting here eating in one of the busiest marketplaces in Oaxaca. This is El Mercado, 20 de Noviembre, 20th of November. And so this is an interesting place to go for typically the typical thing is the chocolate con pan auténtica, tamales, you get all kinds of tlayudas, which is the big sort of pizza thing. Gracias, gracias. Perfecto, gracias. People tend to be a little aggressive as far as recruiting customers. They'll like hand you a menu, even when you're just like trying to walk through. So my tlayuda, I don't know if I can eat all of this. I got a side of chorizo. It's the Oaxacan chorizo is awesome. Masa of mica, which is a certain type of flour they make a tea out of, and mole negro. Some of the aggressive salesmanship. The authentic chocolate de Oaxaca. Perfecto. Gracias. Chocolate y pan con sesame seeds. This is Oaxaca. These are a certain little type of fish. They're not anchovies, but they're a certain little type of fish. Got eyes, all that, organs intact and stuff. Typically what they'll do is throw salsa Valentina on them and eat them like a snack. Kind of like potato chips with a slightly fishy flavor. Absolutely fantastic. Got this gorgeous cathedral over there. Doing some kind of a political speech or something in there, I don't know. Been setting that up for days. This whole courtyard right here is a big ass ice cream shop. All kinds of different flavors of ice cream. Gusano de maguey is the worm of the maguey plant that you see in the bottom of the tequila bottle or mezcal bottle. I don't drink, obviously, so. ¿Tiene nevera de rosa? Ok, ¿puedo tener un platillo para llevar, por favor? Media de rosa y media de chocolate? Perfecto. That's rose petal ice cream with Oaxaca chocolate at the bottom. Actually what it is a like a slushy shaped ice type of a deal. And that's what everybody out here is selling. Everybody's got their own little techniques and flavors and stuff like that. But the rose petal, like the essence of roses. I mean, it's like basically the heart and soul of a rose. I was so knocked out with this unique indigenous restaurant that I came back twice and ordered the same thing. So this is a special dish that I'd gotten last time, and basically it's a type of stewed pork, but it's stewed with some kind of chocolate, a bunch of other stuff, and then I got this big thick toast. These are like cheese, some kind of a cheese ball. So I'm back at one of my favorite Italian restaurants, Mezzaluna, in downtown Oaxaca. So I saw this on the menu yesterday. What this is basically is a type of risotto, which is sort of I think it's a type of rice. It's stewed with squid in its own ink, and they've got a special extremely high quality olive oil going on there, and give me a little bit of freshly grated Parmesan. And so yeah, I knew I had to come back and try this because it's so exotic. If squid is not cooked the right way, it takes on a very tough, rubbery type of a texture. You're sort of sitting there gnawing on it. But if you cook it just perfect, which is like usually like 30 seconds in a frying pan in olive oil, it takes on almost a kind of a texture of like pasta, where it just almost melts in your mouth. Its own ink gives it almost a sort of acidity that you might typically associate with lemons or tomatoes or something like that. Some kind of an acidic fruit, but yeah, absolutely fantastic. Up in the mountains near Guayapam, there was a crazy restaurant I kept hearing about, which featured a very unusual salsa made from flying ants. This is Luz de Luna. And frijoladas, which are sort of like an enchilada in frijoles, hence the name, and frijoladas. And café de olla, which they're serving in a traditional kind of a clay bowl. This is salsa made from ants. They call salsa hormiga. Disculpe, señorita. ¿Es verdad que hay mucha comida muy buena en la ciudad de Oaxaca? Sí. Pero yo creo que tuya es la mejor. Gracias. So now I'm going to sit down and have even more chocolate. Homemade chocolate served in one of these terracotta pots. Further to the northeast, just outside of Mexico City, is a crazy food culture dating back thousands of years. This is one insane town. Blocked in on all sides by these crazy mountains that just jut up and down. Here in the marketplace in Tepoztlán, and there's just all kinds of different types of insects advertised. Jumiles, a type of gusano, scorpion, vinagrillo, which is really scary. I got some of these coming up actually, and chicatanas, which are little beetles. Chapulines, of course, very popular. Oh, you have huitlacoche también. Okay.
Huitlacoche, estas son de manzana con guayaba, chapas de calabaza. Tengo de líder con cannabis. Tengo plátano con y arándano. Y terminado con alcohol y berros.
Okay, muy interesante. Muy interesante. Chapulines?
También, joven, ya tengo chapulines.
Here's the famous huitlacoche. That's kind of like the Mexican truffle. In the United States, they call it corn smut, and typically they'll throw it away. But here, it actually behooves them to let it grow and then sell it in the market where they can get a higher price. I asked for an omelet with huitlacoche. So mercifully, if everything else is just tough, which I think it might be, at least I have something I know I'm going to enjoy. Bonita.
Este es salsa de veneno de alacrán.
Okay.
Con insectos.
Con hormigas, ¿verdad?
Sí, hormigas.
Okay, claro.
Y este es el chinecuén. ¿Quieres probar?
Okay. Gracias. So this is the
El gusano de maguey.
gusano de maguey. Está muy rico. Kind of like Cheetos.
Y este es el machicuil. Es el gusano de maguey, pero ese es el de afuera y este es el de adentro.
Ah, okay.
¿Quiere probar uno?
Adentro. Okay, gracias. So this is an even larger gusano de maguey.
¿No le gusta?
Tiene un buen sabor.
¿Sí?
Me gusta.
Está muy bueno.
An elegant presentation that they just brought out with rose petals, avocado. Underneath is a quesadilla with huitlacoche. These right here are the flying ants, the chicatanas. This is some type of a scorpion. Really scary. And then these are the chapulines, of course. It's a different variety than the ones found in Oaxaca. And then, of course, this is a salsa with sesame seeds and made from also the chicatanas. These are a very different variety than the ones that I had in Oaxaca. I like these better than the ones in Oaxaca. So next I'm going to try the chicatanas. It's actually got a honey-like taste to it. Actually, when you bite into it, it's almost like aged fermented honey. It's got absolute fantastic flavor. Next is the scorpion. This is the thing I'm least excited about, but what the hell, here goes. Not bad, not bad. So that scorpion actually has, it's hard to describe, sort of a woody flavor, almost a plastic type of a flavor. I'm determined to finish it, and it's intriguing to eat it because it's so different from anything else. This is challenging. Okay, here it goes. Good texture. Awesome.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I need to help you because I need to record a video for my school.
YouTube?
Similar because it's for my school.
School?
Yes, I need to.
This kid was so fascinated seeing a gringo eat these insects, he asked if I'd be willing to let him film me for his school project. To which I said, no problem. To sum up about eating bizarre foods in Mexico, to those who are adventurous, there's definitely a lot of opportunities to get to try that kind of stuff, but it's equally as easy to find standard fare tacos, enchiladas, and things like that. Certainly coming down here made me question a lot of long-held reservations that I had about eating certain things which to this day people around the world eat on a daily basis. I discovered that a lot of the problems that I had existed only in my own mind, and when I could just relax and just pay attention to the taste, everything was great.